Thanks for joining me in this episode of Let's Take It Outside, filmed right here in the beautiful Florida Keys with Live Wildly.
That's a good fish right
Excited by the outdoors and driven by my love of travel, I'm on a mission to roam the globe looking for adventure. I want to inspire you to push your limits and get out of your comfort zone and explore the outdoors. Get ready to join me on Let's Take It Outside. In this episode, we're going to be teaming up with the FWC underwater and in the lab doing some lobster research, along with conservation efforts with the Florida State Park System. You're not going to want to miss it.
Let's Take It Outside is presented to you by Live Wildly Foundation, connecting people to wild Florida.
Hey everybody, we're here at the Fish and Wildlife Research Center in Marathon, Florida, meeting up with Tom with the FWC today.
Great,
How you doing,
great to
Tom?
see you this morning.
Hi,
Welcome.
Tom. Thanks for having us.
Welcome to the Fish and Wildlife Commission's Research Laboratory in the Florida Keys. This is one of the most important places in the state, and today we're going to be looking at our lobsters.
Right, it's all about the lobster today, and I heard you guys have a big 8-pounder that I'm going to get to meet.
Yep, we work on everything there is to think about. So we've raised lobsters in our laboratory here. They grow about 1 pound a year, and our oldest one right now is about 8 years old at 8 pounds.
Awesome. Come on inside and join the fun. And this is where all the math and the science takes place indoors. And then later on, I know we're going to go outdoors and get wet and do some real research.
You are going to help us catch and measure lobsters today. It's the off season. That's really when we start doing most of the work. This time of the year, there'll be a lot of very small lobsters, as small as your thumb. So we'll be out there catching those, measuring them, seeing how healthy they are. And that will actually predict not this coming August when the season opens, but a year from now, next August, when we'll have them here. So this is a female lobster. She's about 7 pounds. She was just mated with. And this lobster will probably have about 2.5 million eggs. Littler lobsters might only have 300,000, and so that's why these large animals are incredibly important. We've actually grown this animal up from 0.2 grams, the size of a fingernail. We do that because we want to understand the age of the lobsters also. It's really hard to understand the age of an animal that loses its shell 3 times a year every time it grows this.
Obviously, she's in a very rich environment. She has no predators. So do you feel like they grow a little bit bigger where they are here because of that?
That's sort of the trick of aquaculture. They actually grow the fastest in the wild.
Oh,
Not because they grow faster, but because the ones that didn't grow got eaten.
okay.
Everything in the environment is generally about growing bigger, faster. Probably only 2 of her babies would survive in the wild.
Okay.
That's not a bad thing. They're food for everything else.
So it's the circle of life.
Lobsters are supposed to be caught, reproduced, and be eaten by other things.
Okay. Well, Michelle, it's exciting to be here in the laboratory seeing these big lobsters, but I'm ready to get out on the boat and go get wet. Catch them for ourselves. What do you say?
I say it looks like a beautiful day outside, and I'd love to see these guys in the wild.
Exactly. It is the Florida Keys, so let's go get wet.
Let's do it.
So just to give you guys an update what's happening. Dan and Casey are getting geared up. They're gonna do a dive, get wet first, kind of check out the scene, and then Michelle and I are gonna do a little bit of free diving and some snorkeling. So you went down and did all the hard work.
Yeah, I did all the fun
I
stuff.
know. Actually, the fun stuff too. So what are we gonna do right now? This is like what you do on the day-to-day.
One of the things that we do is we can look at the health of lobsters and just kind of monitor them, make sure that the population is looking okay. And we can use this really neat little tool by just drawing a drop of blood and putting it on our refractometer. We can tell how healthy it is nutritionally. Wow. So to make sure it's been eating and stuff. We do a couple of things. So first off, you can tell they're covered in spines. That's their protection, and it's safety in numbers because, you know, they don't have the claws like the Maine lobsters. They protect themselves by being in groups and groups of spines.
And being fast.
Yeah, and tail flipping away. Yeah. So if you look underneath, you can see whether it's a male or a female, and we write that down. So the way you can tell is you can look for these. These are the gonopores. This is a male. So a couple of things we can tell by pressing the sides whether it is a molting lobster or not. This one is not molting quite yet, but maybe soon. And then we measure it between the horns. It gives you a nice little spot right between those horns. And those horns are great at protecting the eyeballs of the lobster. So one of the predators of lobsters are triggerfish. And triggerfish have really small mouths, but they will dismantle a lobster, starting with the eyeballs and legs.
So Misty, we left Florida Bay, we crossed under the 7 Mile Bridge, and now we're here on the Atlantic side at Delta Shoals, which is about a mile, give or take, from Sombrero Reef. And whenever we arrived, we noticed that this is a nice reef system. There's some sandy bottom here.
Look how beautiful it is. I mean, the water is crystal clear.
You can't ask for more. Right whenever we arrived, of course, the little Sergeant Majors and other tropical fish started coming up to the boat. So what are we gonna find here?
I don't know, but I'm ready to get wet and find out. That was so cool. Almost immediately when we jumped in the water, we saw that barracuda hanging around the boat. We saw him before we got in, but we got in anyway. Shortly thereafter, that nurse shark showed up. That was a pretty good size. Yeah, pretty good sized fish.
Treat for me was seeing the little turtle swimming around on a sandy bottom, and such a pleasure to see all these things kind of cohabiting together in this ecosystem is beautiful.
And this is just what living wildly is all about right down here in the Florida Keys.
All right, so over here, we've got some molts, some lobster molts. So you guys saw some live lobsters, but obviously—
Not that big though.
I know, that's a big one, right?
Now, did you guys find this out in the ocean where?
This one actually we raised in the lab from a tiny little new recruit.
Okay, so you're able to get the molting.
Yeah, so they molt in order to grow, you know, unlike us where we have all of our hard structures inside, they have all of their hard structures on the outside. And so in order to get bigger, they've got to bust out of that old shell, leave it behind and grow a new one.
How much bigger is this lobster gonna get after he molts?
They only grow about 1 centimeter to 2 centimeters, very, very little between their molts when they're this big.
Where's their mouth?
Yeah, so their mouth is right here. So they've got these crushing types of parts here that are kind of like, and they fit together really well so that it's like 2 knuckles. And so they can crush whatever they eat. So they eat a lot of crustaceans, you know, crabs and things like that. And they eat a lot of snails, so they've got to crush them.
Now you've got some babies over here. Oh, he's trying to get away. Here we go, here we go. Now, how old is this lobster right here?
So this one, it spent, 6 to 9 months in the plankton, and then once it was ready, it came in as a crystal clear post larva. So it looked just like that, but it was crystal clear, and it does that to avoid all the predators, and it comes in under the cloak of darkness on a new moon, and they come in seeking that nearshore hard bottom habitat and where it smells like algae and they can find sponges.
And hide out.
Yeah,
and
hide out. So this one is only about a month after settlement. So I would say it's probably about, 7 to 10 months old total.
What's the best strategy for me to scoop up this guy?
Well, that one, I would say you could try to scoop them in the shelter, or you can just grab them. They're not quite as spiny as their other congeners.
Oh, there he goes.
There you go. The spotted spiny lobster, Panulera scutatus. Now these guys are really important predators on the reef. Because they live on the coral reef all the time, they'll eat things like the things that eat coral. So they'll eat the snails and the fireworms that eat corals. So they're important
and that's a
part
good
of
thing.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, we want it because we're trying to restore our coral reefs here. These guys are helping make it happen too. And one thing I found out today, lobster pee is very important. It's important to, do I feel good? Do I feel bad? Do I want company? So lobster pee is very important how these guys communicate and get to know each other.
Those are the little pee holes.
So I really enjoyed the baby lobsters. They're so cute. And of course, the spotted. But do you guys have anything bigger we could take a look at?
We do. We've actually been doing this.
Did I hear big lobster?
Yeah.
Tom.
Joking. Most of the work is done on little lobsters, but the big lobsters are truly impressive animals. I've been raising these since 1999 to do different things, mostly to understand how big they are, how many eggs they can hold, and we do have a few animals in the lab if you'd like to come see those right now. So this is about 2,000 gallons of water, and right now we've got 4 very large animals. I think we've had these for 8 years. 2 things are gonna happen. It's gonna be pretty heavy.
Okay.
And if the tail's pointed towards you, there might be half a gallon of water coming.
I'm gonna get wet. Here we go. Oh.
And this is the, so
Okay, here we
right
go.
Here, I'm gonna turn it towards you.
Okay, wow.
And now scoop it up.
Okay, got it.
Nice job, Misty.
That is
It's a
the-
lot easier in here than out in the ocean. Look at that.
So that's about an 8-pound female. We think they get up to about 20 pounds. I've only ever seen a 15, but that's based on age projections. I've seen some parts of lobsters from the
strong.
Bahamas that were much, much bigger.
This is how you live wildly.
So we're here in Lignum Vitae today as the first ever time we've been out with an Explore the Corridor Week project here in the Keys. Typically these are land-based activities in the peninsula of Florida. And while we're out here, Thomas, what can we experience today?
Yeah, we're excited. There's a group of volunteers that have already gone out. So there's people that are volunteering to be part of Explore the Corridor Week by coming out and helping pick up trash at Lignum Vitae and also at Indian Keys.
And I'm excited. I'm glad that you guys, for the first time, have brought it down here to the Florida Keys. It's time to get dirty, folks.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
We know we said we're going to do some cleanup, but first we're taking a step back in time. We're on our way to explore the Matheson House, built in 1919 as the home of a wealthy chemist that now serves as the visitor center for Lignum Vitae Key Botanical State Park. So I was asking on the way over here to Lignum Vitae State Park, what does Lignum Vitae mean? And it means tree of life, I found out. And this is a sample of what a Lignum Vitae tree looks like. It's really dense. I learned they utilize the bark for a form of aspirin. As you guys can see in this room, they've cleared it out, but they've left a lot of the cool tools that the caretakers used back in the early 1900s. They didn't have the luxury of power tools and things like that like we do, but you can see a lot of the handcrafting and wood crafting tools here. If you come over here, you'll see a lot of the bits, the screwdrivers, you know, different things. This is what they had to work with back then, and this was, you know, probably some high-end stuff. So we're doing something a little fun and unique before we do the island cleanup today. We're doing a Gilligan's Island costume contest, so I've got to go and get changed.
Yes! So Misty and I just arrived at Indian Key Historic State Park. We're about to participate in an island cleanup.
I've never been here before, and I've been to the Keys hundreds of times. As the winds come in from other countries, a lot of trash and debris washes up here in the Keys. This weekend, we're participating in the eye care beach cleanup. I don't know if we'll win or not, but at the end of the day, we get to weigh in all the trash that we find. Who knows, we might win some prizes or something. You know, it's really great that you guys, as Live Wildly, are starting kind of from the Keys up all the way through Florida to just make Florida a better place to live, a better place to visit, and really preserve and showcase the conservation that you guys really hold true to your hearts and in your mission statement. It's amazing what you guys are doing for Florida.
Well, we appreciate you being out here, and honestly, the whole core mission of Live Wildly is to not only inspire people to get out and find their mild to wild adventures, because the more that you go out and you have these experiences, the more you love Florida. Well, this is us living wild right now in Indian Key, so let's see what we can find.
I know, it's time for us to get to work. After a successful island cleanup, the Live Wildly team was ready to dig into some fresh Florida seafood.
Our philosophy has always been fresh local seafood. That has been basically the key to our success since day one. We don't serve anything that's not from our waters.
Hey everybody, I'm excited to be at the Florida Aquarium Coral Conservation and Research Center right here in Apollo Beach, Florida, outside of Tampa Bay. This is Carrie. Tell everybody a little bit about what we're gonna learn today.
So right here in this room is really the breeding center. This is where we're producing millions of coral larvae, which is the first stage of a coral's life.
Right.
Producing those every year to provide to restoration partners across the state of Florida.
You know, and one of the partners that we connected you guys with earlier in this episode is iCare right down in the Florida Keys.
Yeah, iCare is an amazing group to partner with. You know, they're using citizen science and volunteer divers to help get these corals back out onto the reef. We focus on the breeding and rearing part,
Right.
and we'll talk a little bit about what those little coral babies look like, and I'll show you some of the babies that are actually destined to go be outplanted by iCare and those citizen scientists down in the Keys. So here in this tank, we actually have 3 different species of brain coral, and you can see they get their name because they are shaped like a brain. So for example, this is what we call the grooved brain coral. And the reason we call it the grooved brain coral is because it has these grooves right along the ridges, which makes it different from the other species. Most people don't even realize they're animals. They don't have eyes. They're not necessarily a charismatic species. They kind of just look like beautiful rocks.
Right.
But this tissue on the top is actually alive. If you feel them, they're very mucousy, and they are animals. So they do produce eggs and sperm, and it goes up into the water column, and that's what we call spawning.
This is where the parents look like, and now I'm excited to go see step number 2.
Check out the babies.
Yeah, well, let's go look at the babies.
Let's go check them out.
Okay.
We just looked at some of our grooved brain coral parents, and these are actually grooved brain coral babies that are just about 4 months old.
Okay. And I noticed you put them on these little tiles to feel like they're adhering to a reef.
Correct. So each one of these dots is a grooved brain coral baby. We do have obviously some algae growing in here, so that's one of the things that baby corals battle in the wild, and we battle it here as well. So we use these tiny little snails that actually are going around and grazing that algae off of the coral tissues. And this pink algae releases a chemical cue that coral larvae knows that that's a reef,
Okay.
and that's where I should live.
I'm excited to share this information with you guys. I think it's really groundbreaking and world-changing.
Thank you so much. It's been great having you, and we love showing off the work that we're doing and learning more about corals and the network of people in Florida that are working to save them.
Well, and we're about to take you back down to the Florida Keys. Michelle, this is going to be awesome.
What's up, you guys?
Doing good, doing good. Michelle hasn't been back here for a long time, so we're really excited.
All right, so when you go out there, you make sure you hold this joker right here. Throw it right there in your eye and shake that
I
joker.
don't know why you signed me up for this, Misty.
Nah, I'm kidding, you guys. Shake him by the tail, it's harping to come up and grab it, do the rest of the work for you. All right, you guys, tear it up now.
All right,
Okay,
let's do
we're
it.
ready. Woo!
One of the main things that Live Wildly is about is connecting people with nature so that they see how easy it is to love nature.
Right.
Misty, I just wanted to thank you for bringing us down here and showing us
You
such
are
a good
so
time.
welcome. Whether you ended on a wild note or a mild note, it's always great down here in the Florida Keys.